Paul Brown said to me, son, act like you've been there before. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I just barely got on the field. I hadn't been there before. So
I'm glad to be part of that trend. You know, sun's out, guns out.
How about Isaac Curtis on one side, Charlie Joyner on the other side? A lot of quarterbacks were very envious that I had those two weapons to throw to. But
now, wait a minute. Is it fair that Pat McInally is still the sexiest guy on our team? Is that?
You got me there. You got me good.
Donnie, how you gonna be in that video not represent with a chain? Your Kango, man. I got mine on. I'm ready to go.
Oh, that's great. That's priceless.
There are two guys that I think it's a travesty that are not in that Hall of Fame.
Ken Riley and Ken Anderson. Yeah, sure.
Let's put the backdrop on, Jamie. See if Marissa's okay with it.
Yeah, I got her backdrop. Starting the Canadian fan club up here for you.
That is so funny.
My last touchdown, and that's what Joe Burrow's going to end up like if they don't start protecting his ass. It's going to be the next David Klingler, David Klingler stuff.
There's no Spanish-speaking people here, very few. So we, fast forward, we go to the Super Bowl in Miami, and the word was the Bengals have two big Mexican offensive linemen. They don't know how to speak Spanish. So I got down there and started doing these interviews in Spanish, and they're like, "Wait, we heard you don't speak Spanish."
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? But I got on the plane one day in an all-red Suge Knight suit. And boy, Joe Walters and the linemen, they destroyed me. I thought for sure I was so clean. I had some gaiters on, all red suit on. I was Suge Knight. They roasted me.
The head coach was the pain in the butt. The Jerry Glenn, he would thought he was. If you didn't know who he was, he walked out there like he owned his state. And I always say, if I could get a chance to hit him on the sideline, I would.
I'm tackling your ass, Pete. I'm shoestring low on you.
But I got to tell you, you have been stepped on, son. You would have had cleats everywhere.
Well, I'm proud to be a Bengal. Yes, I'm proud to be a Bengal. Always been. I got nothing from you guys.
Welcome everybody to the 7-4 5th seed Cincinnati Bengals edition of Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends. And guys, see this right here? See this smile? It's been like this ever since Sunday, Tom. Ever since Sunday, fam. James, what a day. What a great time to be a Bengals fan for everybody. Anybody can jump in on that shit. I don't care.
It was, it was the exact opposite of the Cleveland game. Jumped on them early and never looked back. I think, some people were certainly surprised, but, it was what we needed. 3-0, 3 in a row against the Steelers, dating back to last year's Monday night game, and game we needed, and half game back of first place in the AFC North. So lots to be excited about.
Yeah, we've been waiting for 60 minutes of football, and we certainly had it. So now that we know that they can do it against the Steelers, certainly we hope we can do it against the Chargers and really put ourselves in a good spot to make that playoff run and hopefully capture the division.
Yeah, unbelievable way to end Thanksgiving weekend. The 5-day bender was glorious on Sunday at PBS. I mean, you can't envision any way better. Mike Hilton picking off Ben Roethlisberger. Unbelievable. The place was bouncing. Just pure euphoria there at PBS on Sunday.
It was great. Great tailgate. We had Bill Segdennison come down and join us. Jeff Hobson came down and join us. Great crowd. A lot of great 16 lots beer. We had a Big Dog barbecue down there. Had 100 pounds of pulled pork for us. What an unbelievable tailgate. And to get the game started, the roar of the jungle, Willie Anderson, was up on the throne. And he posted a message today talking about he was the good luck charm. You might have to be back next week. I was like, dude, I'll fly your ass in if that's what it takes to get another dub, anything. But big day today. As you see on the screen here, we've got our guy Big Sam on the screen. He's going to be part of our show moving forward. We got some fun stuff we're going to be doing with Sam moving forward. And And unfortunately, Jamie has got a lot of stuff going on with his business right now, so he's not going to be able to be here with us tonight. I think he might try to sneak in on us here later today, but a really packed schedule today, guys. We've got Donnie Cummins from Superfan from the San Diego Chargers. You're going to love this guy. He's going to give us his insight as a fan, what's going on with those San Diego Chargers, his take, a fan's perspective on what's going good and what's going wrong with the San Diego Chargers. I said San Diego, my bad. I can't stop saying San Diego Chargers, guys. I'm old school. I'm an OG. That's what I'm going to keep saying. And we got Malik Wright from TWSN Sports, an NFL insider. And guys, if you ever follow this guy on social media, man, he was calling our draft picks. He was calling our free agent pickups. This guy is definitely an NFL insider. So I'm excited to get to talk to Malik. We're going to have a fun time with Malik here today. So guys, let's just talk briefly about the game, guys. I just can't get over. I mean, I was sitting there in the middle of the third quarter. I was sitting there at halftime saying, we won this game. We won this game. Tom, what was your reaction? At what point in time in that game did you feel comfortable?
When Mike Hilton took that one back to the house, you could just sense from the fewest Steeler fans I've seen in our place in a long time, and we need to work on that to keep shrinking that. But nonetheless, you could just feel from them, and you could look on their sidelines. They were looking at each other. A lot of times the way we've looked at each other is like, what else can we do? We got a break. We can't capitalize. And really they couldn't. Ben did not have – Ben looked like he was in a phone booth the way he was. And really he was. He just had nowhere to go. The pocket kept collapsing on him. Even if they didn't sack him or put him down, they were making life miserable on him. Both lines, I mean – we're always worried about both lines. We're going to talk to Malik about our offensive line in a little bit, but 2 weeks in a row now since the bye, the offensive line has been getting it done. I don't know if it's a healthy Trey Hopkins as he continues to come back from that knee surgery. It might be Akeem. Just everybody playing better. We got to get those guys healed up for this Sunday. But the offensive line ripping open holes for Joe Mixon, and the defensive line putting pressure on and shutting down the running game on the opposition now 2 weeks in a row, and imperative we do it again this Sunday.
James, what point did you feel comfortable in that game?
Yeah, I think, you look at the game Sunday, T. Higgins has been somebody that's been quiet for a couple of weeks, really stepped up there, a couple of huge plays, probably should have had that second touchdown down at the 1-inch line. So big game by him stepping it up. And it was something Joe Burrow said, I think, about spreading the ball around more. Jamar Chase is going to get a lot more coverage and a lot more double teams, and, leaves the field open for other guys. He had a huge game. Tyler Boyd, seems like every time we throw him the ball, he catches it. And Joe Mixon starting to come around. But like Tom said, I think a lot has to do with that O-line. It all starts there in the trenches. There's a couple plays, went back and then looked online, and, man, Joe had all day to throw it. So if he does that, we're going to be dangerous.
Sam, your thoughts, man?
Yeah, so I remember sitting down in my seat and just thinking to myself, this is going to be a dogfight for 60 minutes. There is no way what was going to take place. I knew. I was like, there is no way the Steelers are going to come out and kind of just quit again for the second time this season against the Bengals. They straight up quit in the second half. But I saw the first drive happen, and I was like, oh, my gosh, this is kind of like the Cleveland drive. Like, they're moving the ball. They're moving and grooving, bumbling and stumbling. And I'm like, just get in the end zone. And when Joe got in the end zone, I'm like, okay, like, here we go. Let's get fired up. High fives around, and you're like, okay, let's keep it. And then the Eli Apple pick. And I was just like, I think today's our day. Today is straight up our day. And then you have, the whole first half kind of rolls in. They have the ball going down. Joe throws the pick, and you're kind of like, oh, here we go. Like, this has haunted me for my entire lifetime. This is where the Steelers come back and rip my heart out. And then Mike Hilton has the pick, and you're just like, yeah, let's get the party started right now. There is no way this team loses. They played so well in the trenches. Joe Mixon has been the absolute X factor these past 2 weeks. The offense has been incredible. I got to give my hats off to Zach Taylor and Brian Callahan. It's been a great, great scheme throughout, very balanced. And, man, Trey Hendrickson, that guy is a baller. He is a stud. What he does for that defense is truly incredible, and we truly needed him to do it. He showed up time and time again. Sam Hubbard made some big-time plays. And honestly, it was a full team effort, and we saw them just completely undress the Pittsburgh Steelers in Big Ben, which is always appreciated in Cincinnati.
Yeah, so we're gonna dig into some more Steeler conversation with Malik, and we're gonna dig into that game and also preview and talk about the Chargers game here. But let's get into a little bit of some information. And sorry, James and I are going to do the best we can to produce the show here today. We've got a couple announcements today. If you've been following on social media, Sarah Elise, who is a news anchor with 700 WLW, I invited her to the Super Bowl, and she said yes. So the only issue is Tricia doesn't know yet, but Sarah Elise is going to the Super Bowl with me. But she will be out to Tailgate this week. She will be doing our toast approximately around 11:30. She has a very special toast planned for the entire crowd at the tailgate. So be there and get a picture taken and say hi to Sarah Elise. She will be there this Sunday. So a lot of fun there.
Big thank you to Beerfest Craig. Him and Bruce did an amazing job getting the shots together last week, and we'll be preparing them this week for the toast about 11:30 with Sarah. So
yeah,
Bengal bombs are always a big point of the tailgates.
Yep, a lot of fun. And give you a couple guys a quick other things here. So on this date in Bengals history, November 30th, 1968, John Ruffin, nationally known wildlife artist, painting right here. And that's Paul Brown on the left and John on the right. But that's the iconic Bengals logo that you remember seeing at Paul Brown Stadium there, Tom. And I know you and I have talked about that a lot, about that picture right there.
John Ruffman is a Southwest Ohio legend, and loved the Bengals. Painted a lot of different themes for the Bengals, a lot of different covers of the press guides over the years, and a lot of his natural art was of Bengals. But he was a big Bengal fan. Just passed away. Great guy, class acted with incredible talent. So yeah,
cool.
that's all.
So do you have any of those prints in your basement back behind you, Tom?
They're not hanging of yet, but it just so happens I do have two.
Ooh.
I have two as well, Tom.
Impressive.
So that's good stuff. So, hey, real quick, guys, I need everybody to get your phones out right now. If you're not driving in a car, like I see Donnie driving in a car right now, he'll be on the screen here. You do not take your phone out. You keep your eye on the road there. But get your phones out right now, and the Ken Anderson Alliance needs your help. Get your camera ready. I need you to take off that Michael's comment there. So everybody, take your phone out. Go ahead and just hold your camera up to that. And there should be that's a QR code there where it will pop up. And basically what that is a Boyd Gaming is doing what's called our Tree for Hope. Basically what that is that Ken Anderson Alliance has a Christmas tree entered in this contest. And if Ken Anderson Alliance, I think there's like 6 to 8 different charities in it. If Ken Anderson Alliance wins this contest, they're going to be giving $3,000 to their charity. So you can vote early, you can vote often. All you got to do is take your phone up there and just get that picture up there and make sure you vote. There's about 6 to 8 Christmas trees. You click on that Christmas tree. Once you click it, you hit next. It'll ask you for your name and a little bit of information, and then your vote will be cast. But there's no second place in this thing. It's all, if the winner take all, $3,000 goes to the winner. We want to make sure the Ken Anderson Alliance gets those dollars. So that is posted on all of our social media platforms. So make sure you get that out and get that vote in. A few other quick things we want to talk about. The Cincinnati. Go ahead. I'm sorry, James.
No, you're fine. Especially while we're on the charity side of things. Another great charity. Sunday at the game. $1,400 raised thanks to the generosity of all the Bengals fans. And as always, thank you to Tony, the Tiger, for putting that deal together. But Caleb, our buddy Caleb, donated a Evan McPherson jersey, which you guys had signed pregame in Vegas.
Yeah.
Had that back Sunday. And as always, we did $20 donation. Make the donation, you get half a playing card. And $1,400 raised, and a young female. We didn't have the picture this week to share, but she took home that signed Evan McPherson jersey. So congratulations to her. Congratulations to Tony again for the charitable work that he does and kind of spearheading that on game day at the tailgate. And with that being said, we do have something else we're going to talk about. The next 2 home games, we're going to do the Toys for Tots. So we did this a couple years ago. I don't think we did it last year. So I think a lot of people are familiar with the Toys for Tots, what the Marines do, and tie in and give these to a lot of disadvantaged kids. So the next 2 games, you can bring one this Sunday or bring one to the 12th. Bring an unwrapped toy for a boy or girl. We'll collect them at the tailgate. And once again, our charitable buddy, Tony and Carrie, will take these and give them to the appropriate people. So the underprivileged boys or girls will have some presents for Christmas. So again, unwrapped, boy or girl, any age, bring it to the tailgate. We'll have a spot where you can collect those, and then we'll disperse those to the appropriate channels. And again, we appreciate everyone's generosity with that. Also along the lines, our friends from the Alzheimer's Association, a lot of people are familiar. I believe the NFL has been doing this for a couple of years now. It's Cleats for a Cause. And basically, I think the NFL, any NFL player can pick a charity of their choice and represent them on the cleats. Kind of one of the few times where the players have carte blanche to do what they want on the cleats. Well, from the Bengals perspective, Brandon Allen has stepped up and nominated the Alzheimer's Association as his charity. So you can see the actual cleats that he will be wearing for the game. So what the Alzheimer's Association is going to do is they have 2 pairs of tickets. We have 2 other pairs of tickets. So if you make a $25 donation, I'm going to copy the link in the chat here, and we're also going to share it on social media, and we invite you to do so as well. Make a $25 donation to charity at the link below. That is going to throw your name into the hat for one of 3 pairs of tickets to the upcoming game this Sunday against the Chargers. So again, for every $25 you donate $50, your name will be in the hat twice. Donate $100, your name will be in the hat 4 times. Actually, the link that we used before for the $10,000 we raised, but I just posted that here. Feel free to share that. And again, every $25 donation you make will make you eligible for a pair of tickets to the game this Sunday. And we do have 3 pairs of tickets to give away. So kudos to the Alzheimer's Association for being nominated and having a player represent them. And kudos to Brandon Allen for picking the Alzheimer's Association as his charity. So the link's there. We'll post it on our other social media platforms. We invite you to do so as well. Every $25 donation will get your name in the hat for a pair of tickets. And I believe it's Friday at 3 p.m. So this Friday at 3 p.m. is the deadline for that.
Yep. Real cool. And also, James, to kind of give everybody an update, this is where we're at. You guys have raised over $36,000 year to date for mostly local charities here. And that is just, I think our biggest amount we've ever done in any one calendar year is like $12,000. We've exceeded that. We're gonna exceed. We're over $36,000 right now as it stands. It's unbelievable. So thanks everybody for being so charitable and helping out with all these local charities. Another thing that I think we want to hit on here just briefly is the Bengals. Make sure I got the right one. The Bengals this game are partnering with the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army. This Sunday. So they're going to host a cashless red kettle collection before the game. There's going to be 10 kettles in and around Paul Brown Stadium. The Salvation Army will have smart chips, QR codes on those kettles where you can make a cashless donation in those kettles for the Salvation Army. So really cool thing there. I think that's easier for me because I never carry cash, guys. That helps me out a lot. And what was the last thing I wanted to hit on here, guys? Let's see. The Bengals. Oh, yeah. Bengals, guys, we got to make sure we pack the house this week, man. Every game the rest of the year. Guys, we're in the playoff hunt. We're in the 5th seed right now in the playoffs. Right now, there are tickets left for the game this week. And don't go to the secondary markets, guys. Go to Bengals. Go to Bengals.com/tickets or call the Bengals at the 621-TD-TD. And you're going to save over 30% over these secondary market tickets. There's no fees. I had a friend who bought 4 tickets to the Pittsburgh game, said he saved over $100 in fees that he would have paid if he would have went to the secondary market. So keep that in mind, guys. Just keep that in mind as you're out there. You need tickets. There's plenty of them out there. Let's make sure we're packing the house this week. Bring friends, bring family, bring a stranger. That doesn't matter. Bring them. Let's fill the damn place up. So, all right. So before we bring on a guest, I want to do one thing here, and I don't know how this is going to go, but guys, Sam, we're going to put you on the screen here, brother. This is like Cincinnati Street Talk with Sam, and there was a question somewhere in the string here, and I can't find it now. But here's the question for you, Sam. This is Sam's time. Sam, they wanted to ask you, how did you feel after the Bengals beat the Steelers this week, Sam? Cincinnati Bengals Street Talk with Sam. Give us an answer.
Well, that was easy. I looked at my father. My father looked at me as we walked out of Paul Brown Stadium and said, well, it's time to light up the cigars, boys, because we beat the Steelers. We swept the Steelers. It was a feeling of pure joy, as well as it felt like, wow, like this team is legit. This team is kind of getting that big brother beating up on the Steelers feeling, and it is great. It feels wonderful. I was so happy to be spending it with all of you guys, all of Bengals Nation, all of Houday Nation, and having that feeling, having that just pure joy and energy and alive. It was great. I can't describe it anything else. It was a jolt of electricity through my body. It was crazy. I just bottle it up, sell it for $100. It would go great. I mean, it would go off the shelves.
Street Talk with Sam.
Street Talk with Sam. So if you have any questions, I got a couple right here, actually. A couple of my buddies just were like, hey, here's some questions here we have for you. So it's open for you guys as well. So one of the big things is like when we start making this little playoff push, we're going to be ranking higher and higher on people's power rankings throughout the week. Does that scare you or does that excite you as a Bengals fan? For me, it's exciting. It's like, oh my gosh, like this is really happening. Pinch me. This is really happening. The national media is hopping on the bandwagon. It's something to get excited about. Yes, we did falter after the Ravens game. We lost 2 in a row. But guess what? This team is something different. I really think they grew from that, and I'm just excited to see them with the creme de la creme of the NFL. Very, 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 very excited about it.
It's good stuff, man. It is such a great feeling to be this late in the year, and we're talking like this. I love it. So let's go before we get to Malik here. We're going to go to Donnie here. Donnie, let's see how this works, brother. I know you're in the car. Thanks for taking time last minute to join us. Donnie, what's going on, big dog? How you doing, buddy?
How you doing? How you doing, Jim, my classmate? Hey, before we get started, I just wanted to say, man, that win for you guys last week was absolutely phenomenal, and I enjoyed it. So, other than that, I'm just doing the Southern California thing, is sitting in traffic.
Well, Donnie is in my class, Pro Football Ultimate Fans Association up in Canton, class of 2019. Great guy, super fan for the Chargers here. So Donnie, tell us, just give us a couple minutes. So give us a scoop. What's going positive? What's some things that are concerning you right now for the Chargers?
Wow. Well, there's not a whole lot of positives right now in this camp that I can really speak of. I mean, right now, our offense, is probably our only positive. With the same as you guys up there, we have a awesome sophomore quarterback that I think is definitely the future of the franchise. Still got some young receivers. Our offensive line is definitely lacking, to say the least. But we still got a lot of work to do. I mean, even though we could put points on the board, it doesn't mean nothing when you lead the league and drop passes with 22. So, there's a lot to work on and a lot more that can be improved. Our defense has just been atrocious, to say the least, here the last, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Came out really hot in the beginning of the season and then, went to Baltimore and just kind of, it's been downhill from there. So, for my sake, I'm hoping that we can rebound, a little bit this week.
Yeah.
Hey, Donnie, if you could touch on, we all know the draft class last year with us with the first pick, Miami and you guys up there. knew pretty early that Joe Burrow was going to go to Cincinnati. Then there was a lot of talk of Tua and then Justin Herbert. What was the buzz out west there before you made that draft pick with Justin? And was that somebody you thought they were going to get?
Yeah, absolutely. For us, it was a no-brainer. And the reason why I know this, I'm really good friends with the Seau family, and their nephew plays at Oregon, and so his dad actually called me, and he went to every game in Oregon, and he says, if you guys don't take this kid right here, you guys have just set yourself back 10 years, and thank goodness. And I really believe that. I think where Tua was at, I mean, Tua could be Tua at times, but to be a franchise quarterback, I just don't think he's got that because of what he had at Alabama. That line at Alabama is something to be, sought after for any quarterback. I really think, a Pop Warner quarterback could have thrown behind that line at Alabama. So, it's tough to say, but a kid that grew up loving the Chargers and dreamed about being Dan Fouts or dreamed about being Phillip Rivers at his age, and wanting to come to the Chargers is kind of a cool story, for Justin Herbert.
That's cool. Tom, I think you had a question, buddy.
Yeah, you mentioned your defense, and certainly you guys have had a lot of uncharacteristic problems with some tip passes for interceptions and so forth. But on the defensive side of the ball, how's your run defense? Has it improved at all? I know it's been lacking a little bit. Our offensive line is very banged up right now. Any chance you could tell the guys to still relax on Sunday?
I can't tell them that because I think they've been too relaxed here in the last season or two. So, Joey Bosa is going to be Joey Bosa. He's still going to give his 2 cents and have that pressure. We really don't have that real deep nose guard to kind of feel, put some pressure in, on the center of that line. So that's what scares me. Our DBs have been okay. They've been kind of banged up lately. Derwin James is still, he's still an all-pro, but you can't do it all yourself, with Bosa and Derwin James. I see Joe Mixon still running for over 100 yards. I don't see any way around that, but they have surprised me. They kept Pittsburgh under 100 yards. And, they've surprised me on some days. And, I guess that's the reason why we play the game, huh, boys? You have to play it, and whoever comes out on top comes out on top.
Yep, we got you. Sam, I know you had something too, buddy.
Yeah, just real quick. Austin Eckler, he means a lot to that offense. What are you kind of looking for when it comes to his approach to handling this pretty stout Bengals defense, rush defense this week?
Austin has been, first of all, I can't say enough just positive things about the guy. Not just his play on the field, but what he does in the community and what he's done to really embrace what Jim called San Diego Charger fans, which you could call that. You could keep saying that, Jim. That makes me happy. But what we've kind of grown on with us at Thunder Alley, we've kind of grown on Southern Cali Chargers. So, but back to Austin Eckler, he's just done so much, and the guy is so stinking strong. You guys really have no clue. If you guys ever go to his videos, just watch and see how strong this guy is. He's phenomenal. He's a small school guy with a real small school attitude, laid back, and the guy just he works his tail off every week. And I would not be surprised to see possibly a LT kind of day out of him. He catches the ball well out of the backfield. I know that you guys have been beat up a little bit on defense, but the guy, he's hard to explain because you don't know if Brandon Staley, and he's a Dayton guy, right? He comes out of Ohio. So you don't know if he's going to use Austin this week in the pass or the run. So it's hard to tell. I would really have to see what that first quarter looks like, or the first couple of snaps to say, all right, this is going to be Austin's day, or, this is going to be Justin's day, or either one, it's not going to be any of ours day, and it's going to be January 10th of 1982 again, and I hope that doesn't happen.
All right, Donnie, we're going to put you on the spot. We really appreciate you joining us, buddy. It means a lot. And I'm going to tell you, man, you dress up pretty nice. You got a collared shirt on. Your hair looks nice. You got trimmed up. You're looking good, brother. I wouldn't have recognized you outside of game day if I've never seen you.
It's work, and I don't really call it work because I'm shaping minds of young folks. I work in the community college in the counseling department, so gotta dress like this to impress right now. But there's pictures around the office that show me in my game day attire, and they're like, "Oh, I seen you on TV yesterday." So. But I really appreciate that, Jim. I really appreciate you guys having me on, and I wish I could be up there this weekend. Just that it's not in the cards for me. And
well, we understand. So I think we're just last question, and I don't want any elaborate answer. I just need a straight, quick answer on this. Give us the
38-31 Chargers.
Ooh. All right.
Bye, Donnie.
Get him off the screen. Let's get him out of here.
Hey, Jim, if I could just say one thing,
Sure.
and I wanted to extend our hospitality. I know you guys are real hospitable out there. I want to send our hospitality to anybody coming from Cincinnati. You're more than welcome to come to the Southern Cali Thunder Alley for our tailgates, or if you're in town for a college game, San Diego State, any of those, look me up. You're more than welcome to come out here. We'll show you a great time and great hospitality as well.
Brother, it means a lot you taking time. Are you almost home now after a 2-hour drive in California traffic? There?
Yeah, you know what? If I can get home in 2 more minutes, I'll see my my famous reruns of WKRP in Cincinnati. So I'm trying to hurry.
Well, brother, we appreciate your time, man. Good luck. We hope you win every game after this week. All right. So we'll see you, big dog.
Okay, buddy. Have a good one. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Donnie. Take care, buddy.
Donnie.
It's always fun to have a fan's perspective from the other team, and he's a pretty knowledgeable guy, man. He's a good dude, and you might not recognize him on game day. This guy's decked out like you wouldn't believe. He's a great guy. So I think we have Malik in the waiting room here. Don't pull him on yet, James. I was asking, how do we introduce Malik, man? I'm like, I wanted to get something good, but the only thing I could get was, it's the craziest thing. I'm going to ask him this question, and I want everybody to respond to this, but we're going to be bringing on Malik Wright from TWSN Sports. He's an NFL insider. If you keep track of him on social media, guys, he was calling our draft picks. He was calling our free agent picks. This guy's got the scoop, and he's a good one. Let's welcome Malik Wright to the show. Malik, what's going on, big dog?
What's going on, guys? How you doing tonight?
Good. So
thanks for coming.
So, okay, I told you we got millions of viewers right now on Facebook, Twitter, and millions right now. So, Malik, tell everybody how you became a Bengals fan.
Oh, man. So basically, for those of you who don't know, I live in New Jersey. Over here, we have the Giants. We have the Jets. It never really sat right with me that, they called themselves New York, so to speak. And, every single time the Giants were in the Super Bowl, they always, had the parade when they won in New York. Didn't give Jersey credit for anything. And I don't know, that kind of turned me off a little bit to those teams. So I was like, you know what? I want to pick a different team, And growing up, me and my brother used to always play Madden. I liked Tigers growing up. Who day, everybody? I like Tigers growing up. So I went with the Cincinnati Bengals, fell in love with the football team, the colors, and the rest was history. And now I'm a Bengals fan.
Well, there you go. So now everybody knows on social media, because we're going to take that clip and we're going to repost it. Malik is a Bengal fan because when he was a little kid, he liked Bengal Tigers. Hey, I love it. I love it, brother. Man, hey, look, Malik, we really appreciate you having you on here today, man. Thanks for taking time with us. So we know you're busy as hell. But I know we got a lot of viewers right now. A lot of questions are popping up right here. And I think, Tom, you had something you wanted to start it off with here, right?
Yeah, a little bit. One of our favorite topics here, Malik, since the bye, the offensive line seems to have come together, particularly in the running game. We've got a couple concerns this week with Trey Hopkins and Riley Reif being so banged up. But What do you see has been the key for the improvement just in the last few weeks? And, it's probably going to be still a major concern this coming off season. But where do you see that improvement coming these last couple of weeks, and what do you think they need to do going forward?
I love that question. First and foremost, I want to take you back. In order for me to answer that question, we've got to go back to 2018, I believe the year was, back when Frank Pollock was the offensive lines coach for the Cincinnati Bengals back then. If you remember, before their bye week, the Cincinnati Bengals struggled to run the football. They struggled to run the football. And, I believe that back then our starting offensive lineman was Christian Westerman, Billy Price, Alex Redmond, Bobby Hart, and Cordy Glenn. A fantastic group, right? So if you remember, the Bengals ripped up the run game. They were trying to do this power scheme thing, so to speak, and they ripped it up and went to sort of like a zone scheme, outside zone scheme, and heard some of the players talking about it today. That's exactly what they did again after the bye week. They ripped it up. It wasn't working. And they went back to that. They realized, okay, what is the identity that we want to have on offense? Well, you've got Joe Mixon. And that was the thing that was, mind blowing to me from the time we drafted him. I never felt like he was used properly. That guy is a workhorse. He's a dual threat, right? You can run the ball with Joe, 20 plus times a game. And you also can get him involved in the passing game as well. And I think that they came to sort of had to come to Jesus meeting with themselves. And they said, okay, well, let's ride Joe Mixon. Let's let Joe Mixon be the engine to this offense. It'll limit Joe Burrow's turnovers. It'll open everything up for the offense as well. That's why you're seeing guys like T. Higgins come on strong. And you love to see the receivers get involved in the running game as well. But to answer your question specifically, they got to keep doing what they're doing, especially with this Chargers game coming up. Continue to let Joe Mixon be the engine that gets this offense going. And I promise you, everything else will open it up. In order for teams to respect you, right, your ability to do play action. Bengals love to do play action, stuff like that. You have to be able to run the football. So as long as the Bengals are able to stay committed to that, I think that this offense is going to open up.
Good stuff, Sam. I know.
Yeah, no doubt. I completely agree with all of that, Malik. And we're talked about one Joe. We got to talk about the other Joe, Mr.
Sure.
Number 9. What have been your overall thoughts on him so far this season? Kind of looked like a different guy the past 2 weeks. Been very concise, really good, putting on a show, balanced offense attack. What are your thoughts on 9? I've
been impressed with Joe Burrow. I was a little alarmed at first with the turnovers, but I also think that I had to get myself thinking this way. Last year, our receivers, we had some of the most contested catches, I believe, in the NFL, if not the most contested catches in the NFL. He's not used to having, the deep ball to his disposal, right? So he had to kind of get used to it. He had to kind of get used to this offense, so to speak, and having all these receivers at his disposal. And now that he has them there, I think we're starting to see him more comfortable. I think we're starting to see Joe Burrow a little bit more comfortable. It seemed like earlier on in the season he was forcing things a little bit, but now it seems like he's more comfortable. He's pretty much, like he keeps saying in his press conference, he's taking what the defense gives him. So I think that's something that he's got to keep on doing and not try to force too many passes. But I've been impressed.
We want to remind viewers, go ahead and put your questions in. And our buddy Mon, who made the trip up from Florida last week, has one. Malik, you're not his all-time favorite Bengal reporter. That honor goes to Jeff Hobson, so I'm going to apologize for Mon in advance. But Mon asked, do you see Quentin Spain getting a long-term deal? Obviously, we know the importance of the O-line. Quentin Spain was basically somebody we got off the trash heap from Buffalo, stepped in last year to pretty much a starting role, saw him shift over to the left side guard position this year. Do you think that's somebody we see locking up, knowing the importance of the O-line?
Yeah, I definitely think that's somebody that I could definitely see the Cincinnati Bengals going out there and extending. Especially he wants to be here. He loves his teammates. The Bengals took a chance on him, right? Everybody else pretty much, didn't want him essentially, and he signed here. He saw there was a need for us, and he sort of fits that Bengals mold. He reminds me a lot of Clint Boylan back when Clint Boylan was here a little bit. Doesn't seem like a guy that's going to ask for a boatload of money. He seems like a guy that just wants a fair shake, right? And it seems like that's what he's going to get. Even if you look at the deal he took in Buffalo, remember, he was the starting guard in Buffalo before he asked for his release. It wasn't a performance thing. He got injured, and he lost his starting job from there. When he lost his starting job, he didn't ask for his release. But even the contract extension that they signed him to the season before that, I want to say it was like $4 million a year for 3 years. It was nothing significant. And if you know anything about the Cincinnati Bengals, listen, they have a price that they believe that the guards are worth, and I don't disagree with them. You see, Joe Tooney signed a $18 million a year contract with the Kansas City Chiefs, and now Kansas City saying our offensive line stinks, right? So at the end of the day, it's if you can get good guard play, I don't think you need to go out there and splurge and pay $20 million a year for a guard. I think Quentin Spain is the perfect guard for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I definitely think the Bengals are going to want to keep him.
Yeah.
Talking about players, future contracts, extensions, things like that. A lot of people in the chat are mentioning the name Jesse Bates. Do you see him working on the franchise tag next year, or did we get something done?
I think Jesse Bates will be re-signed by the Bengals. I had an opportunity to meet Jesse Bates' agent. A lot of people don't know, but Jesse Bates' agent was actually at the Bengals Jaguars game. I think that deal gets done, to be completely honest with you. We had the franchise tag there at his disposal, but I think Jesse didn't do himself too many favors earlier in the year. And he admitted it. He said, he was worried about the contract. He was worried about other things. And now you see his focus seems to be squarely on playing ball, right? He says the contract stuff is going to take care of the contract stuff at the end of the day. I certainly believe him as well. I think the Bengals get this deal done. The Bengals tend to take care of their guys too, and he's one of their guys.
Yeah. Tom, I think you had one, bud.
Yeah, Malik, switching over to the defense, we've talked with a couple different guests and players and so forth. The best thing you can do for your pass defense is a good pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing you can do for your pass rush is a good pass defense.
Absolutely.
With the schedule and the quarterbacks we've got coming up, I mean, Herbert, seems like the 49ers are starting to figure some things out. Denver, that's the altitude. But, Mahomes, Jackson, and for whatever reason, we're the only team Baker Mayfield can play well against. Do you see them, tuning it up? Do you think we're going to pin our ears back and go a little more?
So
we're going to rely on those corners for some one-on-one coverage? And, if Trey Waynes comes back, will he be a help? I mean, we got a good deal with Eli Apple.
Absolutely. And remember, Vernon Hargraves, Trey Fly, we still got some bodies out there. I think we're pretty deep at the cornerback position. But to answer your question, right, I first and foremost want to just shout out Lou Anarumo, man. What a job he's done to the Bengals defense. A lot of Bengals fans were impatient, and I kept telling them, trust the process. So it's all going to pay. It's all going to come. It's going to listen. I saw bad defenses, right, and I remember we had a defensive coordinator by the name of Terrell Austin a couple years back. That was the worst defense I've ever seen in my entire life. Do not tell me about bad defenses. You know what I mean? That's what I was trying to tell people. I've seen bad defenses. I love the guy, right? He's a great guy. But the fact of the matter is that defense was atrocious. And I saw the makings, right? Lou Anarumo, he just needed to get his guys in there. And if you look at it, right, when's the last time the Bengals actually invested? I mean, when he first took over, right? When was the last time the Cincinnati Bengals invested on the defensive side of the football? I mean, a premium pick in the draft, right? William Jackson. Right, a guy who was a good coverage corner, but probably one of the worst cornerbacks that actually tracking the football down that I've ever seen. But to answer your question, I think every team is different that we've got coming up on our schedule. Justin Herbert's is very, very simple. You got to heat him up. Yeah, the Bengals signed Mike Hilton, right? So if I'm the Bengals, Justin Herbert excels when you let him sit back there and you let him, dot you up, so to speak. I'm sending blitzes at him. I'm sending Mike Hilton on blitzes at him, rushing up his time and making him make those wonky throws down the field, because Justin Herbert will give you opportunities to make plays on the ball that he throws, right? And I think that's a very simple game plan in order to beat them. With a lot of the other teams that we have coming up on our schedule in terms of like the Broncos, the Niners, well, what do those teams love to do? They love to run the ball, right? What is the Bengals defensive line really, really good at this year? Stopping the run. That's something that they made a concerted effort. That's why we're great against Baltimore, right? I think those games are favorable matchups for us. Obviously, when you're dealing with a weird quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, who likes to run around a ton, you know that's different challenges he can present. But you played Aaron Rodgers earlier this season. Aaron Rodgers is a lot similar to Patrick Mahomes, so you kind of know what you're getting. In a lot of these matches, I don't think that there's a team left on our schedule. Let me be just completely frank with you. I don't think that there's a team left on our schedule where I look at it and I say, oh, goddamn, I'm scared. I don't think that there's a team left on our schedule where I look at it and I say, this team can't beat. I think that we have a recipe to beat a lot of these teams on our schedule, and it's just about going out there executing the game plan, everybody doing your job.
Yeah, Malik, so help me understand. So we had that blip in the middle of the season here. We had I'm staying on defense, right?
Yep.
So we had that Jets game. We looked horrendous on defense.
Yes, sir.
We had the Browns game, which we looked horrendous on defense. Outside of those two games, our defense has played outstanding. Outstanding. I mean, it was 41-3 for the most part this week against the Steelers. Yeah. So what do you contribute that to? Did we look past the Jets? What was it? Just bad game plan? What? I don't want it to happen again. So help me understand it.
Okay, I love that you asked that question. It's very, very simple. A lot of people want to point to the defense, but I actually want to look at the offense for a second. The offense was stagnant. The offense wasn't scoring early. In ball games in the first quarter, and they weren't scoring until the end of the 2-minute warning in the second quarter. The defense played a lot of snaps. They were bound to burn out at some point. But let's go to the Jets game. Let's remember that Jets game. What happened? Well, the defense gave us opportunities to make that game a blowout, to be honest with you. Jesse Bates had a pick and got tackled down in the goal line. We couldn't punch it in. Jermaine Pratt has an interception. I don't think we punched it in then. So the defense gave us opportunities, but at some point, it's like anything, right? It's like if I'm pulling, we're teammates, and I'm pulling, and you're not holding up your end of the bargain. At some point, I'm just going to collapse. And that's what I think what happened with the Bengals defense. I think that the Bengals defense collapsed, and I think that they were done. I think then when they went on to go against the I think when they went to go on against the Cleveland Browns, they were just beat. They were tired. They're like, wow, we lost to the Jets last week. How did that? How the hell did that happen? And then I think we saw the result that we saw, a team that just got into a shootout with the New York Jets and Mike White. And we saw them struggle against the Cleveland Browns, who love to run the rock. So I mean, it was expected. The defense needed the bye week more than the offense. The offense needed the bye week to get it together. And now it seems like the Bengals are doing the one thing that they struggled doing all season, including the special teams, because I think that's a big part people are forgetting as well. Football is 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. Special teams has not been good all year. Special teams has not been good all year. Bad field positioning, I'm talking. In terms of the defense side of things, the defense was really keeping this football team afloat, and the offense was very stagnant until the second half of the team. And now finally seems like after the bye week, things just seem to click. They're playing great complementary football, offense, defense, and special teams, all 3 phases, and I expect it to continue.
Yeah, I mean, all that money they spent on free agency the last few years in defense, man, it's really paying off right now. I'll do one more quick one. And our chat area is absolutely blowing up, Malik. So we got a bunch of stuff to get to you on. Thanks for being with us.
Of course.
So let's talk about Jamar Chase. Jamar only had 3 catches for 30-something yards, right? But so they were shading safeties his way. I think T. Higgins was the beneficiary of them focusing more on Chase this week. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But it's like the old Jay-Z song goes, right? Allow me to reintroduce myself, because I think people forgot about T. Higgins. I think people forgot exactly the playmaker T. Higgins was. But guess what, Jim? Guess what, guys? In a few weeks, people are going to be targeting T. Higgins, and they're going to forget about Tyler Boyd. Then they're going to be targeting Tyler Boyd. Then they're going to forget about Jamar Chase. That's the beauty of this offense. You take one element away, another element has the opportunity to absolutely obliterate you. I think that this is going to be, for the next few weeks, going to be the Joe show, right? The Joe Mixon show, and Joe Burrow sort of just taking what the defense gives you. But eventually, guys, you know what's going to happen, right? Teams are going to say, you know what? Joe Mixon is running for almost 200 yards. We're going to load the box. That's all right, because what happens when you load the box is you leave Jamar Chase wide open or one-on-one with a cornerback and no safety help over top, and then you get beat. And I expect it to open up.
Yep, good stuff. Sam, I know you had one.
Yeah, so Malik, you don't win a Super Bowl by winning one game. You got to be able to string together multiple games at a time. This team has not proven that in recent years. We haven't won 3 games in a row since 2015. And you start to look at the playoff push. You got to beat good team after good team after good team. Does this team have what it takes to be able to just go, okay, we struggled after big emotional wins. Can we start putting together win after win and get into the playoffs, potentially win the division, and go from there?
I'm going to tell you this. I think that this team definitely has a lot of potential. I think that the Super Bowl, right, that's very tough to say, because you get into the playoffs, anything could happen, right? Anything could happen. We saw the Giants, anything could happen. I will tell you, I do have one bold prediction for you, Sam, and here's what it is. I think that the Cincinnati Bengals will make the playoffs. I've been saying that. Me and Coach Minnick, we both said this. I think the Bengals are a 10+1 team this season. I do. I feel bad for the team that has to play the Bengals the first time in the playoffs. I really, really do. I think that this team is very, very different. And I say this with the utmost confidence. I study Joe Burrow, and I study a lot of the quarterbacks that come out. I do my own draft and analysis and stuff like that. Joe Burrow is the best quarterback that I've ever studied. And I still don't think people realize how good we actually had with him. This year is a weird year. He's coming off the ACL tear, right? I think next year he's really going to take a crazy leap, and we're gonna see that all in terms of like turnovers being down and things of that nature. And I think we're going to see sort of like a high octane offense and the confidence in him. But going on to this year, I think that this football team definitely has the ability to go to the playoffs and win a playoff game. And I fully expect the Cincinnati Bengals, if they go in the playoffs, to actually win a playoff game, because I think that there's so much riding on it from a city's perspective, and just the self-belief in this football team. I think they have a lot going for them, and I expect them to actually shock the world and actually win a game. We'll see. You win a playoff game, anything could happen at that point.
Malik, I love it, brother. I love it. James, I know we have a boatload of questions in the chat area. You want to go ahead and run with a few of them?
We do. And thank you to everybody that has chimed in. Again, this is a show by the fans for the fans, so we certainly appreciate everybody's involvement and asking questions. Here's a simple one. You coming to the game this weekend, Malik?
I am. I'll be there. Who dat?
So hold on, Malik, you'll be at the tailgate so they can get pictures with you, right?
Oh, absolutely. Come get pictures with me. I'll be there with my shades on, looking like a coach, like people said last time.
So here's one from Sam Ross. You think we win the division? You think it comes down to us in Baltimore at the 5 games from now?
Yeah, I think the goal for the Cincinnati Bengals is to beat every single team in front of you right now. So that way, when you face Baltimore, that game is pretty much to wrap up the division, if that makes sense. I think that the Bengals' full focus should be that when we play Cleveland later on in the season, that game shouldn't even matter at that point. We should be playing Brandon Allen in that game, because we're preparing for bigger things in the playoffs. So yeah, I think this team will win the division. And guess what? It's in Cincinnati. Weird things happen in Cincinnati.
And Brandon Allen, who has our Cleats for the Cause for the Alzheimer's Association. Our friend Jen has a question. We know the game next week is going to be flexed back to 4:25 from the standard 1 o'clock time slot. You would think as we move forward, you mentioned the Baltimore game. Do you see more games being flexed into prime time as we wrap up the season?
I see the league flexing 2 more games of the Bengals this season. And I see it being the Ravens game, obviously with division implications on it. But the league loves Patrick Mahomes. And we got Patrick Mahomes coming into Cincinnati, Joe Burrow versus Mahomes. I could see them absolutely flexing that game, making it a big deal. And yeah, what better way in the world to shock the Chiefs?
And I don't know if you're going to be in town for that game, Malik.
Oh,
that is actually the game that Bengal Jim gets to be ruler of the jungle. That game.
Oh, I'm definitely. If he's ruler of the jungle, I'm going. That's my guy.
So you're saying what you're saying, Malik, is Bengal Jim's going to be in prime time on the stage as ruler of the jungle.
Oh, absolutely. With the cool intros, with the fireworks and the
Pyro,
awesome intro show this year.
All right, Jimmy. Pressure's on.
You're the man, Jim.
Can't wait. James, there's more in here.
Yeah, let's see here. Tom, do you have anything else while I sort through these fan questions?
Well, we've talked about that. Where do you see, though, the coaching? Occasionally, first part of the year, there was some questions about, we heard play calling. Maybe Zach doesn't need to be the play calling. Is it too much? And one thing I really admire about Zach is not necessarily even this year, but the past 2 years. This was a team that never gave up. They play hard for that guy. He gets them to play harder, maybe even more than Marvin Lewis, Sam Weich, Forrest Gregg. They played hard because they were scared to death of him. But, where do you see the coaching? We got the nucleus of a staff to stay together to take us all the way to the championship. I think we've got the quarterback. But do we have the coach and the coaching staff?
I actually think I honestly do. I think that we have the entire coaching staff is really, they're a cohesive unit this year. I can't say what I know, but I do know there were some coaches that are no longer on the Cincinnati Bengals this year that was not preaching the same exact message that Zach was, and that's why they're no longer here. I think that this coaching staff is special. It seems like to be that like they're all on the same page, and I think that I think that I think a lot of people are. I think that this is an impatient league, and I think people want instant results. And here's one thing I want to share with you guys. And I'm sorry if I'm talking a lot. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good.
What you're here for?
I think people. I think us as being fandom, not me so much necessarily because me being in the media, I try to not attach myself too much to a player because I realize that at some point the player's got to move on and things have to happen, right? But I think we get so attached. Like, let's talk specifically about the Cincinnati Bengals when Zach took over. Have you guys had the opportunity to look at the 2018 Bengals roster? A lot of those guys aren't even in the league anymore. And yet and still, we as Bengals fans, we were upset when some of these people weren't retained. Guys like Preston Brown, guys like, I'm not going to mention too many more names, but guys are no longer here on the football team anymore, right? And I think that it became like sort of like this, Zach doesn't know what he's doing because he wants to, implement, bring in his own guys. I know we necessarily, last time we went through a rebuild was probably 17, 16 years ago with Marvin Lewis, but this is what a rebuild looks like. It doesn't just happen instantaneously. It takes a guy, getting his guys in. You don't usually see results until the third year. The problem is NFL front offices aren't patient anymore. They want instant results. And if you don't produce, you're fired. Zach Taylor, any other organization right now would be fired right now. Thank God for, Katie and Mike and Duke and, and Troy and thank God that they were patient. Thank God that they were willing to just ride it out because good things happen when you're patient, man. And we're seeing the fruits of they're seeing the fruits of their labor, so to speak, right now. Like, it took a while. It sucks seeing the stadium empty. It sucks seeing signs up, all the time, but it was necessary. It was you had to get to where we had to hit rock bottom in order to, reach where we are right now. And I think it's really, really awesome to see what the Bengals are doing. And I think that we're only scratching the surface.
Yeah. So I know James will be getting to some questions, but there's one I want to get to here, if you don't mind, James. Sorry.
Sure.
So this is, I'm going to put this on the screen. I'm not even going to read it out, Malik. I need you to read this. And the first name that pops to your head, I want you to answer this question. You ready? Here we go.
Yep.
You're putting you on the spot again. Here we go.
Oh man, I like that question. Oh man.
Okay, go position group then.
I'll say this. I love sauces.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm a big sauce guy. I like barbecue sauce.
Ooh.
Yeah. I like. Jim, will you have any sauce at the tailgate this weekend?
We did. We did all that pulled pork, 100 pounds of pulled pork.
You know what I need to bring them from Indianapolis is that St. Elmo's cocktail sauce.
Ooh, make your eyes water.
Yeah,
okay,
well, clean the sinuses out.
I definitely got to get some sauces, and my uncle's a gardener, so that should be.
There you go. Sounds good.
One of the hot topics, Malik, and this is going to go back to the last draft, was Team Chase, Team Sewell. Who should the Bengals pick? Who was going to be there? What camp were you in leading up to the draft this year in Cleveland?
Oh man,
you could be wrong like me. I was on Team Sewell the whole way. I'll admit it.
I liked Sewell, to be honest with you, but I also loved Jamar Chase. When you watch Joe Burrow's film, you can't help but just see Chase, pop off the screen each and every single play, so to speak. I'm kind of, it's weird, right? Because like, I don't really get wrapped up into whose team I was on because I kind of knew what they were doing. I knew where they were going already. So yeah, Chase was the pick for sure, but it definitely made sense. Well, I understand why people wanted Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell was a mammoth out there. He's going to be a great offensive lineman for years to come.
Yeah. Malik, are you okay hanging around a couple more minutes?
Sure, let's go.
We're having a blast, brother. So let's keep going. Sam, I know you got another one. We got. I think we're up to like billions of people watching right now, Malik. People are just shoving questions in the chat area.
Let's keep it going. I've got nothing going on tonight.
All right, let's go.
All right, Malik. So it's a huge game this week. We still got tickets to sell for Paul Brown Stadium to sell out. Mm-hmm. You got to give me a 1-minute pitch for why a guy or a girl, a Bengals fan, needs to come to the game this weekend. What's the 1-minute pitch? The Malik Wright special. Give me something to work with.
Here we go. Two players, two quarterbacks coming out of their respective draft classes. Who deserves to be the number 1 overall pick? Justin Herbert was the consensus first overall pick for years, coming out of Oregon. People thought that guy was going to be first overall. And lo and behold, a guy, from Ohio, he was a cast off. He came in, took the number one pick from Justin Herbert's clutches, and now the two meet head to head, because while Justin Herbert, lost the first overall pick, right? Lost the first overall pick to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow lost Rookie of the Year to Justin Herbert. So they both took something from each other. But who's going to take that illustrious first win against one another? That's why you want to be in Paul Brown Stadium. That's why you want to watch Justin Herbert versus Joe Burrow on Sunday. It's going to be a battle of the quarterbacks, battle of the future. Who dat?
Yeah, Bengals. I need 250 tickets. Malik just told me to call. I get the Malik discount. All right. There you go.
So we've apparently, have you given some gambling tips? We've got some people that want
I have
some gambling tips.
Yes,
here.
yes, sir.
We do have some degenerates.
We have absolute some gambling degenerates following us. I'm just telling you.
Talk to me.
That's kind of generic. Give us your two best bets for games this weekend.
Oh man, okay.
I guess what's your Malik Stone Cold Lead Pipe locks?
All right, so usually I save this for the TWSN Patreon, which you guys should subscribe to when you get opportunity. But you know what?
Hold on. Let's tell our people about that. For those that aren't,
if you guys,
go ahead and talk about that.
I have an awesome team of my staff members here at TWSN. We do deep dives, man. We do a lot of research into some of these picks. We go back to years, even some, and we like to follow trends and things of that nature. And we have a thing called the TWSN Patreon betting service, where if you want access to all of our exclusive picks, you can subscribe. We have 4 levels of membership, 5 actually. The highest one being the GOAT, which is $49.99, where you get my official picks each and every single week. That's for UFC, NBA, college football, so on and so forth. It's actually awesome. It's really, really great. But with that being said, I'm going to give you some picks this week, guys. Some picks that I'm really, really high on. I think the Dallas Cowboys, Kellen Moore, I'm pretty sure I think he's going to be the interim coach this week, with Mike McCarthy being out due to COVID. I got the Dallas Cowboys winning that football game against the New Orleans Football Saints. The New Orleans Football Saints can't stop a nosebleed right now. But if you want some prop bets that I love Dak Prescott to have 2 passing touchdowns. I love it. I'm pretty sure he's getting 2 of his receivers back. That New Orleans Saints defense is not as good as everyone thought it's going to be. That's my best bet for Thursday Night Football for this upcoming week. I'm just going to rattle off a slate of games, and the rest you guys will have to subscribe to the Patreon for. But got the Cardinals beating the Bears. I've got the Vikings obliterating the Lions, the Colts beating the Texans, the Buccaneers beating the Falcons. And I got our beloved Cincinnati Bengals beating the Chargers. And to cap it off, I've got the Patriots shocking the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Monday Night Football, and pretty much, saying that they're going to win the AFC East.
Wow.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Those are stone cold locks, people. That's an absolute lock.
Yes, sir. And the Patriots are plus money right now, so you probably should get them while they're hot. Josh Allen likes to turn the football over, and Bill Belichick likes to capitalize. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, guys. Anything else before we close this out? We won't keep Malik much longer. This has been fun, man. Anything else?
A big thanks for taking time to visit with us. We hope we can have him back soon and many times.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, guys. Wright Report on Twitter. That's 2 T's with a W. Wright Report. Follow me. I love interacting with all you guys. If you guys don't mind me putting up food takes and talking about, The Sopranos and Godfather and things of that nature, definitely give me a follow. I think I'm a fun follow on Twitter, so I'm told.
Yeah, and if you're not, guys, if you're following us, we've tagged him in a lot of our posts today, and we'll continue to share that. We've got some great clips here that we'll be posting throughout the next day or two as well. We'll be tagging Malik, and make sure you follow. He's one of the best follows on social media, especially on Twitter, man. We love him, Malik. Absolutely. Man, we appreciate it. We can't. When you coming in town? You coming in Saturday?
I'll be in town Friday afternoon, my man. Friday afternoon. I'll be in there around 5 p.m.
Are we doing that flag football game?
Yeah, I think we're doing a flag football game Saturday. I think I got the park. It's a high school with a turf field. I've got it all set. I'm just working on the time. I want you guys to come out there. Let's play a little football, have some fun. Houday, it's going to be an awesome weekend, and it's going to be great. It's not going to be anything too crazy. Just two-hand touch, some football, and make sure.
So just to let everybody know, and Malik, you have trouble finding the field. I got Coleraine High School all day up here. We need Coleraine. They got turf.
Oh, let's do that then. Let's just do that field. Whatever. If it's in.
Let's talk. Yeah. But I am coaching the team. I just want to let you know I got my playbook out for my little youth football league. We got like 34 crossbucks. We got counters. We're running power eyes.
Let's go.
We're going to do some end arounds in whatever team I'm coaching. Sam, you could coach the other team.
Let's go. I'm a big red zone target, though, Bengal Jim. Just throw it up to me. I'm going to come down and catch it. Ground spike it all over the defense. So I'm all in. Coleraine High School, I own that stadium.
Yeah. Okay.
Go Bombers.
We'll talk later, Xavier. Well, Malik, my brother, we appreciate your time, big dog. It means a lot. And we had a lot of fun here today, man. I hope everybody enjoyed watching it and talking to you. And we look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Absolutely, guys. You guys take care. Have a great night. All right. Thank you for having me.
See you this weekend.
Appreciate it.
Guys. Be safe.
Houday.
All righty. How we
told
doing?
you he was going to be fun, guys. I told you. This
fun.
guy, he's good stuff, man.
Jimmy, you're on a hot streak booking the guests the last couple of weeks. They've been outstanding.
Yeah, Malik's a good man. He's in, and I think a lot of us have been following him for a really long time, and he's got great insight, very smart guy, and knows his stuff. And he's definitely an NFL insider. He's got connections, man. That during the draft and during the free agency, man, there was so much BS out there. You didn't know what to believe. And then the first 1, 2, 3 times he said something, and it's like, damn, every one of them came true, and he was right on. He's legit. He does a good job. There's big things ahead for Malik, guys. So, guys, we're a little bit over here, but I don't care. That was a hell of a lot of fun. So we're going to go ahead and close it out, and we'll go Sam, Tom, and James, and then me closing this out. Sam, give us your closing statements, buddy.
Well, first of all, I'm sorry that my computer died. That's probably what happens when you have a laptop from 2011. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's make it 3 in a row this weekend. How would it be if the Bengals beat the Chargers and then, oh my goodness, we're right there. We're 2 wins away from 10 wins. How can you not be excited? How can you not be fired up? Get down to the game, get excited, go to the tailgate. It was a blast last week. Bring your own beer, have some fun, smoke your cigars, because guess what? We got a football game to win. I'm going Bengals 31, Chargers 28, Evan McPherson. Money Mac goes kick right through the uprights in the end zone, and oh, baby, we're humming back through the banks, having ourselves a day on Sunday. I'm fired up. I'm starting to sweat just thinking about it. It's going to be a great day.
Can't wait.
Well, like Sam said, we do have to fill the jungle up, and we do have to be loud. I think the players have been very appreciative this year. It's been a different type of team, and it's been a different type of crowd this year. The place has been electric, and we've got to keep that going. We got to keep that going for them on Sunday. It's critically important. Another thing we do need to mention: congrats to a good friend of the show's and the ruler of the jungle, Willie Anderson, for being a semifinalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I know this show and so many of our followers have been working to put the word out on deserving Bengals that need to be in. Willie deserves to be in. So please, social media, light it up. All forms, light the voters up in a positive way, in a polite way, but let them know. Let them know about this deserving guy, the best right tackle of his generation, if not the best offensive lineman of his generation, and let's get him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But business this week. Let's do everything we can in the stands to help the team out and beat the Chargers. James?
Thank you, Tom. A couple charity things I want to go over again. We alluded to at the beginning of the show. Scan the phone. You can go back and watch any of our shows on YouTube. They're all there, or on Facebook. Scan that. Kenny Anderson, our friends at the Ken Anderson Alliance, are in the running for $3,000 for people that vote for them. So go ahead and vote early, vote often. And let's help our buddies out at the Ken Anderson Alliance. As we mentioned earlier, our buddies Tony and Carrie are spearheading our Toys for Tots. So the next 2 home games, bring an unwrapped toy, and they'll get those to the appropriate channels. And our friends at the Alzheimer's Association, donate $25 or more, get you in the running for a pair of tickets to this Sunday's game. You have Friday at noon to get your $25 donation in. Every $25 donation gets you eligible for a pair of tickets. And again, we do have 3 pairs of tickets. And also, again, thanks to Brandon Allen for stepping up and making the Alzheimer's Association his clause. As I said earlier, it's great seeing our buddy Mon from Florida making the trip up. Jeff Hobson for stopping by. I think the last time we saw Mon was at the Jungle to the Hall up in Canton, Ohio. Came all the way to Florida to support that cause. And as you just mentioned, Tom, let's keep pushing both Kens. And now Willie, I believe you said something was a Clark judge that kind of gave a big vote of approval for our man
Clark
Willie.
judge is a voter, and it probably puts more time and study into it than any voter, at least that shares it in the media, without question. He came out with a big plug that it's a travesty, to steal one of Jimmy's lines, which he did, that only one Bengal is in there, and went on that Willie is the next Bengal that should be in, and that he intends to support him and vote for him. We've just got to get the rest of those folks to climb on board and do the right thing and vote for Willie.
Get him in.
And somebody just put a mention in here. It's $25. It's $25. The screen does say 65. That was simply because every 65 seconds somebody is diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but with 25 would be a better number. So simply a $25 donation will get you eligible. And as we've been saying all game, let's pack the house Sunday at PBS and win another game. Put us at 8 wins for the year. Jimmy?
Yeah, and guys, just really back on the charity just for a brief second, guys, and over $36,000 raised this year alone by Bengal fans. And guys, I am just taken aback. These charities know about you. The platform that we have as a group of fans through our tailgate, through the show, our social media following, it's because of you guys. And it's so cool to see. And I just appreciate every bit of what you guys are doing with this. And I want to thank Donnie, super fan charge of my draft class in PFUFA from 2019. We love you, buddy. I think you're still in the room. We appreciate you, man. And we want to thank Malik. Had a lot of fun with Malik today. Guys, get out and get your tickets. Don't call the secondary markets. Call the Bengals. Go to the Bengals website. No fees. Get your ticket. Friends, family, pick somebody up off the street. It doesn't matter. Buy them a ticket. Get them in the stadium here, guys. A lot of fun tonight. The Bengals magic number is 3. We've been saying for weeks, Jeff Hobson from the Cincinnati Bengals, 10 win gets us in. How many more games we have here, Tom? 6?
6.
6. We're going to win more than 3, but 3's our magic number, guys. Let's get to that 10 as soon as we can. We'll see everybody at the Tailgate Sunday. We got a lot of special things going on. Stay in touch with us on social media. We'll give you some updates on some things that are going on. We're working on our local restaurant this week and who we're going to be focusing on in our food this week at the Tailgate, a local restaurant we're working with right now. Guys, I want to say thank you so much. Sam, Tom, James, thanks for being part of this, man. This is a lot of fun doing this together. And everybody that's viewing right now, we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for everything. Thanks for being part of this. It doesn't work without you. We love you guys. We hope to see as many of you guys down at the Tailgate and at the game we can Sunday. Hoo day, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Hoo day.